saw something I'd never, I mean, I've read the book before, but I'd never seen that part. All right. About how Ojukwu actually got the word or the message into the Biafra. I was sure that everything happened based on Radio Biafra. The truth is, I was wrong.
Okay.
Did he use Radio Biafra? Of course he did. Was that the only tool he used? Of course not. And it was amazing when I saw it this morning. The man was having stage productions, live productions, and he was reenacting everything that was supposed to have happened. This is why it's very difficult for an average person from the East to say, you know, I'm telling the truth. He tells me I'm lying, and the reason is because there's no way his parent would tell you it was a lie. He watched it, or she watched it, and while they watched it, they imagined it. So you had audio, you had visual, then you had your imagination, then you put everything together, you supply details where you don't know what happened, and then it becomes your own story. 1 second, let me read this. The book is called The Nigerian Civil War. It's written by John de St. Joe. I'm going to read page 168. I first heard the Biafran version of what went wrong under rather strange circumstances. It was at a charity entertainment, raising funds for refugees in Biafra a year later. There had been singing and dancing and speeches, but the set piece of the evening, to which all the notables of Aba town had been invited, was a melodrama depicting the blood-stained history of Biafra. The Tukus, the massacres in the north, the Aburi meeting, the outbreak of war, it was all there, cleverly acted on a small stage in the dimly lit Aba town hall. Federal MIGs had been over us at dusk, spitting fire and flame, but nobody bothered about them now. The audience, entirely Biafran apart from myself, was wrapped in what I can only describe as a deeply religious glow. The high point of the play was the invasion of the Midwest. The audience, a little like that of a Victorian music hall, participated eagerly but reverently. Then came the fall of the Midwest. Groans, incredible characterization. There was banjo talking blithely to Ojukwu about reaching Lagos and Ibadan soon. And there he was again, hatching a dreadful plot with Alale and Ifajuna, the gold medalist high jumper who shot the federal prime minister in the first coup. And now quietly from the shadows of the wings came an unmistakable figure. Tall, long white gown, punchy stomach, 2 cushions, and small round spectacles on white frames. Of course, Awolowo. Deeper groans. In his hand, a symbolic bag of gold. He is doing a deal on behalf of the federal government and himself with Banjo, Alale, and Ifajuna. They are to sell out the Midwest, return to Enugu, kill Ojukwu, take over Biafra, bring the war to an end, and then the final Machiavellian twist with Awolowo turn on Gowon, depose him, and take over Nigeria. A perfect historical scenario, perhaps written by a Biafran unleashed for a Biafran Shakespeare. The pact is sealed. Banjo ordered his bewildered men not to fight and to allow the federals through. The advance from Ore turns into a retreat, the retreat into a rout. Town after town falls, the Midwest and all hopes of a quick end to the war are lost. But thank God, the wicked plotters are found out in time to save Ojukwu's life. Banjo and Ifajuna confess. Ojukwu reluctantly, Alale is relative by marriage and he was once friends with Banjo, agrees that justice must be done. The rot must be stopped. At dawn, the traitors, a fourth joins them, are shot by firing squad. Biafra and His Excellency live to fight another day. Cotton, cheers, collection. That was how the story was ingrained in the minds of the people. Beyond Radio Biafra, they saw it play out. They were not just told what happened, they saw it. You see, there's something about movies. I write and direct, right? I have different backgrounds. I have background in religion, but I also have background in performing arts, music, film, theater, and all. There's something called the suspension of disbelief in theater and in film. It's called the suspension of disbelief. Have you ever watched a movie? Let me ask you, have you ever watched a movie and something, you just like, somebody is shot? I know you probably have this in your family. My mom is like that. If you shoot somebody, she'll shout as if it's real. has it ever happened to you when a drama or a movie feels real, like you're right in the midst of the drama, like you're right there? What it is called is the suspension of disbelief. That's what happened to a lot of Igbos after seeing this play over and over and over again. Now, most of what you see in this play is arrant nonsense. But who is to say it's nonsense when you saw it? You know, when people say they saw it, you may look at it and say they're talking nonsense. But is it really nonsense? Is it really nonsense? They did see something. Oh, it was a reenactment, but they saw it. And I think that's the problem, really, because there's this thing like, oh, I was there, I saw it. You cannot tell me anything. You don't know what you're talking about. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, I get why people speak with all conviction. They speak with a lot of conviction, like they are sure this is it, and that's what a lot of confidence, like because Ojukwu understood the power of media. Not only did he use radio, he used pamphlets and he used drama. And to be honest, knowing what I know now, sincerely, and I'm not joking about this, sincerely, I feel really bad for Igbo people. I mean, I've always felt bad for them, but it looks like no day goes by without me feeling worse for them.